UAE Pavilion has a glass facade which allows everybody who's passing by either on the ring or in front of the pavilion to see what's inside the pavilion. So we're already piquing their curiosity and interest by allowing them to feel welcome, that they are able to come in and are able to see what's inside the pavilion. It's not a mystery of what's inside. The way I started conceptualizing the work for this pavilion is to center the entire story around the protagonist. That protagonist is the palm tree. The central question that this entire pavilion poses is, how do we reimagine Areesh for the future?
حياكم.
Salam alaikum.
Welcome.
Yokoso.
Here in the UAE Pavilion in Expo Osaka, we have the theme of From Earth to Ether, which means that we as Emirati people are rooted with our traditions and cultures like the palm tree, and we always want to reach to ether.
We really wanted kind of the tone of voice of the pavilion to be the same, a very calm tone of voice. It's as if a wise tree is talking to us. Really, as you enter the pavilion and you discover different angles of the pavilion and you walk through the pavilion, you're invited to search for yourself different corners of the story and experience them at your own pace, as if you are truly walking through an oasis full of palm trees.
The minute they come into the pavilion, they smell the nice smell of the date palm tree, and instantly they look at the pillars and they ask us, what are these? What are they made of? Are these bamboos? Where did you bring them from? So all the attention goes to the pillars. We tell them these are the waist. We call it tirid in Arabic. This is the waist of the date palm tree.
There would be a question in some of the audience's minds, why don't we just bring palm trees into the pavilion? But that doesn't align with both the UAE ideas about sustainability and harmony with the environment, as well as the Japanese ideas. To create this pavilion, a lot of companies and a lot of teams needed to come together to form the Earthy Ether Collective, which is in charge of bringing this pavilion to life. We worked with a partner called Process Iguchi, which is a woodworking expert here in Japan. And what we really wanted to do is to just give them the material, which is the palm tree fronds, and tell them, this is the new type of wood for you. How are you able to create something out of it? To get this huge amount of palm tree fronds into Japan, they needed to create an entirely new supply chain of getting palm tree fronds from the UAE, Egypt, and Tunisia, different farms in these different countries. Clean those palm tree fronds, prepare them, straighten them, of course make them completely a pest-free process so that they are able to enter Japan at this large volume. And then we needed also their expertise in creating the columns. The company that we worked with for the columns specifically is called Shelter, which is also another company in Japan which is an expert in woodworking. When we had all of these columns as palm tree fronds in a warehouse here in Japan, when we walked into that warehouse, we smelled how it smells like in the UAE, walking in Al Ain Oasis, for example. And we really wished that after all the construction and once we installed them, we hoped that their scent would really last long and people will be able to smell it. And luckily it happened. People are able to enter here and to take in that scent of the pavilion. The rocket is basically an artistic sculpture that needed the magic of the handicraft. And the people who can do the handicrafts are people like our grandmothers who are based in the House of Artisans in Abu Dhabi that can create the khus weave. And so we went to them and we said we want to create a rocket, but we want it made out of the khus weave. And it was a very new idea. So How we've solved for that is that we worked with designers and architects to essentially create a 3D image of the rocket and make it into smaller parts as if it's like one big puzzle. And then all of these smaller parts, we've given them to the artisans in the UAE. It's as if building it with Legos, all of the different strips and pieces that come together and get sewn together at the very end to create the entire rocket. We really wanted multiple elements within the guest experience to express this fusion of past and future and this thinking that we will move forward only by being proud of who we are. We did that first through the khus and the rocket, and then we did it through El Sedu. And once I saw different El Sedu patterns, I thought this really does look like a DNA, like the way that you would see a DNA on a screen or DNA information or binary information, white and black stripes. That already is talking the same language as El Sedu. So we wanted to bring those together in another effort to express Earth to Ether, express kind of a new idea, and all of these healthcare-related projects, especially one of them is the Emirati genome, which is very much related to, of course, DNA. We needed a space that's open at the end because it is very important in our culture to gather in a majlis, for example. It's a moment for all of the people to come out of the woodworks, essentially, or out of the oasis and meet each other and maybe talk to each other and kind of gather in a peaceful space. In the section here behind me, it's called the Woven Legacies. And essentially, it's 3 circular screens that are showing us the same scene filmed from different angles. These films were created by Ray Haddad, which is a UAE-based film director. He is known to really capture all of these intimate moments that happen when you get really close to someone creating something with their hands or fishing or maybe creating khus or a palm tree weave. And so this is so important to the Japanese audience because they really care about texture and materiality and feeling things with their own hands. And so we wanted film that allows people to get immersed into the UAE, or a film that kind of acts as a portal or a window to the UAE. And this is what this video installation essentially allows for the viewer to access. At the very beginning of our time in Expo, a lot of people used to sit down and watch these films, and sometimes they'd watch it over and over again because it's a place where they can relax in a nice environment, a calm soundscape. It's very heartwarming to see. The carpets are actually inspired by hasir. Hasir is another type of palm tree weave which creates a carpet-like structure that we used to use in the old days, but still used in the UAE. Basically, it's inspired by hasir, but it's actually made of jute. And jute is, more of an organic and more sustainable material. And we would have used hasir and would have done the hand weaving, but it wouldn't have lasted us 6 months. We just used it as a point of departure and inspiration, and then created this space. We were very intentional also with having a carpet in the space because a carpet naturally makes the visitor feel more relaxed and feel more welcome. And we really wanted people to feel like, welcome to the UAE, this is also your home, and really feel like the pavilion is something that they can come and visit more than once, which has been happening a lot with so many of our guests who visited us some of them more than 10 times. It was definitely intentional to allow the visitor to really be in charge of their own destiny and to be in charge of their own journey as they walk into the pavilion. What happens in a lot of expos is that people are overstimulated or maybe sometimes forced to watch a video for a long time, or they feel trapped. And so we really didn't want that feeling to arise here in the UAE Pavilion. We really wanted people to feel open and welcome and easy, really. If they want to spend more than an hour reading every line in the pavilion, they can. But if they want to just enjoy a walk into the pavilion as if they are walking in an oasis, they can also do that.